So I guess originally I thought a coach was kind of like a motivational mentor.
I think a lot of people think coaching is one person telling another person, do this, do that.
I understood that there was coaching in the sports context and that there was also sort of like narrative coaching or life coaching, but I didn't really have a sense of what it was.
Honestly, I thought it was just something that was in sports a lot, honestly.
Hello, my name is Christopher Smitherman II. I'm a recent graduate of Miami University with a degree in mechanical engineering. During my time at Miami, I was fortunate enough to participate in the Lockheed Martin Leadership Institute, a 3-year certificate program. I am currently the president of Operating Connections. Join me in seeing what students in the College of Engineering and Computing are learning about the coaching mindset, the project selected by the students. Together, we will see students learning about coaching, engaging in the experience, and sharing knowledge at the Coaching Mindset Summit.
Well, this, I think, may be the most interesting project that we've had yet. And we've had great ones in every one of the cohorts. So there have been 5 projects before this. This one pushed me out of my comfort zone. And that's not that easy to do. But for the first time, I really saw in the students where they found a project to do that wasn't just like a one-off kind of a project that they dreamt up. It wasn't a copy of anything else. It was harder, better, deeper than anything that I had seen before. So it scared me in a good way.
So we chose coaching particularly because Professor Mormon was excited about the potential that it held for us. And I think that a lot of that came from the fact that the coaching mindset is so different. It's so radically opposed to the engineering mindset. And so being able to sort of close that gap in understanding would hold more development for us than potentially other options for the project.
So beyond the sports coaching, I had heard of coaching in like a leadership job sense. So I kind of figured that it was kind of along the mentoring lines where you talk to someone, you ask them a whole bunch of questions, and then they give you answers or advice, and you kind of go from there implementing what you want and what you don't, kind of.
Getting someone to the point of realization without like telling them to be there, rather. It's being able to have someone fix their own problems, I think, without you having to tell them what's exactly wrong.
You don't go to a coach for them to provide you answers, but you go to the coach so that they can help you figure out the root of the problem and help lead you in the right direction. So the coach kind of is a catalyst to help you gather your thoughts and kind of approach the situation and consider all of the different directions you could go with it. Coaching is important for clients because it helps them take a seemingly unsolvable problem and break it down into specific parts. Like asking those probing questions can help a client break an unmanageable problem into manageable parts that they can solve, or if they find a systematic issue behind all of their problems, then they might be able to address that instead and solve a boatload of problems that they're currently facing and prevent future problems from occurring in the first place.
Something that I've gained an understanding of is that it's entirely, that there is no information shared really by the coach. It is purely question-driven, trying to get the coachee to make some change in their life, like have some sort of personal development that is going to be lasting and sustainable.
You have to develop a deep personal relationship with the person. Not only that, but you have to be able to establish some sort of trust between you two. That way you can start asking, deep questions and start like getting at the root of issues rather than just, oh, well, I think you should do this, or, maybe that's not a good idea, stuff like that.
The coaching mindset is looking at a situation and looking at the questions and understanding the context and kind of figuring out what questions need to be asked without asking the question why. Because why is a very big question that's really hard for people to answer satisfactorily for themselves. So asking more questions to kind of drive at the why, but not actually asking those why questions.
And now that they'll know of coaching, it pretty much, now the process like in the business world will become faster. Like there's no need to beat around the bush with this coaching stuff because it is to help you. So say if you didn't know that, you'd spend a lot of time kind of dancing around the issues on hand rather than just being able to get to it pretty much. And if you're already exposed to that, you're like, okay, I know what's going on and I know this is to help me. Like, because you could just get straight up defensive out of nowhere, like at the start. So there is that advantage of having that, better pickup on being able to be coached.
As you can see, students work diligently to do research on the coaching process. I myself was matched with a coachee that was 2 years younger. I learned the basics of coaching to help a sophomore develop her leadership development plan. It was through this process that I understood what it meant to help someone see the best part of themselves and serve as their guide, rather than give them all the answers.
As a result of this process, I think that I've learned that I need to practice a lot more at asking questions and paying attention to people. I thought I was pretty good at it before this project, but I've learned that I could be a lot better at it. So this project really helped me put into perspective like my personal skills.
That I have personally grown through this process in my ability to allow other people to take on work and to take on responsibilities. I was always somebody before who would think, oh, there are all of these things that have to be done, and to make sure that they do get done, I would do them myself. I would often overload myself with responsibilities. I would create an environment where I was not as productive as I could have been because I was, I had this sense of I had to take charge, and learning coaching and practicing coaching, developing the coaching mindset to an extent has helped me sort of let go of that and let other people take on some responsibilities in my teams, in my projects, just in general.
I think coaching is important because for a variety of reasons, the pace of today's life and the complexity, the amount of input people take in, the number of decisions they have to make, it's perhaps a little bit beyond most of us, and so a coach is someone who helps you slow down and sort through those complexities in ways that are absolutely normal. In other words, you don't have to be having a problem to have a coach. You have to have a life. You have to have a career, and then a coach is useful.
Well, when we talked, I said it's got to have three things for sure. It has to be new and original. It can't be a repeat of something that was done here in the Leadership Institute or just a repeat of what someone else had done. It had to be transformational, and that's super hard because that's actually something that speaks to the inside of people and significant real change. So that's a big ask when you say the project has to be transformational. And third, I said it cannot be something that's just designed for things you normally do at a college age or something that you do with younger people. Because so many of our projects in college already address that students get a lot of opportunity to do it, so why repeat that? So I wanted to have them kind of go beyond their existing experience. And this project did each of those in a bigger way than I personally could have imagined.
But I'm not going to get embarrassed if this doesn't go well, all right? So you don't get embarrassed for me. Just say, oh, he'll catch the drift. And, and if something bad happens, we'll just do something different. Okay? So think about the mindset of this. We are flying high, we are making time. We love corners cut, we don't like lines. All our days are blurred and our nights are filled. We've lost our knack for standing still.
Benefits at the Leadership Institute are enormous because coaching is not another content piece, it's a way of being, it's a way of showing up, it's a way of engaging people. And it's been a missing component in a lot of STEM type educations. And so I think it's not only delightful, but it's powerful that you're able to expand yourself this way.
After doing this project and learning more about coaching, I feel like I've become more effective at asking questions, kind of breaking the engineering mindset of like, we need to find a solution, and instead of approaching the problem as like a whole and seeing whether there's something else, like as I mentioned before, whether it's the symptom that is the problem or whether there's something deeper that we should address instead.
So what I've learned is that since I am in the people leadership second year of the Leadership Institute, it is what I've learned about coaching through that and that like parallel to each other, that you kind of need to, like the basis line I believe is just being able to establish a relationship, I think. And so with coaching, you're doing just that. And now without people leadership, you can't really lead anybody except yourself. So I think coaching, being able to establish that relationship kind of ties in with the being able to lead people.
So transformational leadership is a lot about being open to new ideas and being open to change. So being able to transform kind of as you're going through your career into kind of what you need to be and how things are changing. So having a coaching mindset makes you open to those changes and kind of what things you might need to be changing yourself. And it also makes you open to kind of what types of things other people might need to be changing in their lives.
Thank you for joining for a glimpse into the world of the Lockheed Martin Leadership Institute at Miami University. The coaching mindset is one aspect of the journey. As you can see, coaching has a huge potential to grow and transform individuals. It's not about telling someone the right answer. It's about helping them discover their own right answer through questions and deep reflection. The Lockheed Martin Leadership Institute focuses on developing future leaders with self-awareness, courage, vision, purposefulness, and a commitment to continue to learn and evolve to meaningfully deploy their best selves to make their positive difference in the world.